JM Race Engines is a new business in north central Missouri that have you covered from top to bottom for all your engine needs. Purpose-built engines with the correct amount of clearance will get you to the end of any show, whether it's your local shows or on the national level, where you can't be let down by your equipment. With top-level professional machine work to all engines, your choice of build is totally up to you. JM Race Engines will give you the confidence to push your equipment to the max while giving you your preferred horsepower to boot. From LS builds all the way to your exotic level small blocks that your imagination can only dream of, they have you covered.
But it doesn't stop there. They are also a speed shop that carries a variety of heads, carburetors, intakes, plug wires, helmets, and other safety equipment, and the best VP fuel on the market today to take you to the top. So if you're wanting mild build to wild build, let JM Race Engines help take you there. Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast.
What are you doing, Satchmo?
Sitting here looking at some people.
We got some people in the house. What was that famous saying a couple years ago, make derbies great again?
Yeah.
How about make Palmyra great again?
Amen.
We have Jake Schaefer, Dakota Damron, Justin Meyer, all up in it. What's up, boys?
How you doing?
Not a lot. What's up?
Well, let's jump into it. You're taking Palmyra back.
Yeah, it's been a couple years coming.
Yeah. And I think everybody kind of knew that. You know, I mean, it happened once before. You brought it back, brought a real legit tech in. People that knew the classes, knew what the people around there wanted run. Everybody stepped away from it, and it went right the fuck back to where it was.
Yeah. The last 3 years, since I left, and the guys followed me. They didn't want to mess with it either, and just kind of went downhill quick. And since we announced there a month and a half ago that we had got it back, and there's just been an outpour of positive comments. And
yeah, well, I mean, and because that's such a good facility.
Yeah, it's probably best one in 75 miles from.
It's definitely it's set up right.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got the pits are right there. You've got a place to lock cars down. You can limit the traffic on cars or people around cars that are teched in. The stands are fucking amazing.
Yeah, 3,200 people, I think, is what we can fit in the stands, and close to another 500 to 750 standing room, which is always full.
It would just be awesome. I would make Steven give over the pants handies to move that bitch to Saturday.
When I joined the JCs 8-10 years ago, whenever it was, and I was pushing for that, but you got the truck and tractor pull,
right.
And that's it. Logistically, for the dirt, it makes more sense just to leave it in there and not have to take it out and then bring it right back for Saturday. So
that is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's been the first Friday in August for as long as I can remember.
Yeah. I don't remember what year this is, but I'm thinking we're pushing 50 years of the Palmyra Derby. It might be, I've stepped away for the last
I don't know, is it
years.
Derek?
Well, I don't know. I'm 48, boys. It's getting there.
Yeah, so.
I don't know. I just threw away all my JC shirts, and I didn't get one last year. So,
Yeah. So let's just get into it. What pushed you guys to want to get this back?
I can answer that.
But we're not going to let you answer it.
What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's a hometown show that was dying. They were watching the motherfucker die right in front of them.
Yeah, that was the main thing, and I stepped away and I ran it. I actually built a car, and Justin helped a lot on that. Building that car, and and I ran it for a couple of years, and I can tell you when I was 19 and 20, that was a lot harder derby than it was the last 2 years that I ran.
Right,
absolutely.
Correct.
I could, you could get a lot more in, and
Right.
just
Well, I knew what I could get into that show, and that's why I quit running that show. And if I wasn't going to run the show, we might as well make it a good show again.
Well, and that's the big deal. You take people that don't give a fuck about the product, just the outcome,
Yes.
and you lose a show.
It turned into more of a money thing than a show and an entertainment thing.
100%.
So-
We've talked about that, and you know just as well as I do stepping into this, you're not going to make no fucking money.
No.
Well, and the car count was suffering from that.
Yeah.
And it will every time. We've watched Madison do it to themselves
A lot.
a bunch. I mean, they had Jeremy Baker in there that had 100 cars. Didn't like the way shit was going. Jeremy pulled out and quit.
Went camping.
Yep. And it went back to a fucking 12-car show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you've got somebody back in there that Hobbs and them and Burden that
Know what they're doing.
Well, they enjoy
That's
it.
the thing. You got to know.
You've got to
what
be
you're doing.
passionate about the fucking sport, or it's not going to work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
Because if not,
them
you-
guys have turned that show around.
100%. I mean, it's a bad motherfucking show again.
Yeah.
Well, Justin and I went up there, and we know what we got into that show that year.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun.
It was. That was a good fucking time. After I got a stick, I was like, this isn't going to be good, but I know I'm running it. So.
Ain't that where you went viral tackling a guy too?
No, that was
No, that
No,
was
that
in
was,
Paris.
that was in
That's here.
Paris.
That was when I lost my shoe in the heat. Fucking smacked that one old boy pretty hard.
Because we questioned you if you had your dudes on or not.
No, I actually had my tennis shoes on that time, but it wasn't tight enough for him.
At Madison's, whenever you almost rolled that guy with the other guy.
Yeah. That was a little second gear grab across.
Yeah, I was watching that live. I was at work.
I was watching it live, too, from the fucking seat of my car. I was like, oh, there he goes.
I mean, there's going to be, everybody who listens all over the country, shit all over the world. I think everybody is, I would put it as, their shows have been in this situation before.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen
Any
we saw
promoter out there
Shelbina.
that listens,
Me
like,
being
they
born
know
and
how
ra-
this shit works.
Me being born and raised in Shelbina, you used to have 100, 120 fucking cars, and the next thing you know, there's 9.
Yeah.
Switch promoters, change shit up.
We had 100 fucking cars there.
Yeah, and then 100 cars. So if, like Steven said, you guys have done it once, there's not a doubt in my mind that you can't do it again. But now we're going to talk about how you're going to do it.
We're going to start with a tech. We've got a group of guys here. You got Justin that's been around derbying for as long as I've known you.
Yeah.
Jake, who derbied his ass off, and as long as I've known him, has been derbying and teching. And then, me being a part of the JCs and the chairman of that derby for so many years, and a lot of learning curves there. Like, I'm kind of leaning on them guys to do more of the tech and stuff, and me doing more of the organizing stuff. And,
Well, I mean, that's what you did whenever we were putting on all those fucking shows around here.
yeah, so
So it's not like you don't know how to promote the event.
Right.
yeah, and
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
you just got to get a good team that knows what they're doing. Like Justin and Jake said, are passionate about derbying. Eat, sleep, and breathe it. And just bottom line, know what you're doing, what you're looking at,
Yes.
and you got to know the cars and
The shit's got to be fair.
You got to know what you're looking at, and Jake over there, he's been around all types of cars. I've been around. I've had my hands in everything from a national mod all the way down to gut and go. Unfortunately, sorry, no.
No, that was more than a jab. That was kind of like a sideways dick kick.
You row with me here.
Nah, you're right. I did. Sorry, Jake.
Not in a gut and go.
No, but no. Ultimately, we're going to start there. We're going to start with a good tech and a good, clear set of rules, which we'll talk about them later. But
That's another thing. And rules. You've got to give the driver what they want to build to.
Absolutely.
We've seen them straying away from that shit lately, and I've watched car counts hurt from it. Promoters are like, these are the rules that I like. Nobody gives a fuck what you like.
Yeah,
It's what the driver likes.
Yep.
100%.
Well, and that was kind of like that first Facebook post I made, and nothing was really official. We were just
Right.
throwing everybody out. Wanted all the compact guys, weld in,
Yeah.
go, message me or tell me on this post, what do you want? Because that's what's going to bring the guys.
Absolutely.
Not what you want, it's what they want.
100%.
Because I can tell you, after seeing the first post that you posted, I knew your messenger was going to blow up, and I could probably name 10 of the compact guys who were going to message you, and I could promise you every fucking one of them would have said full cradles and tie-ins.
Yes. That
Yeah.
was exactly
And
how
the cool thing about where Palmyra is located, especially for the people that don't know Missouri, that listen, it is a really good spot to pull 3 fucking states.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Iowa, Illinois, Missouri.
Yes. I mean, it is
45
easy.
minutes from the Iowa border, 15 minutes from Illinois.
Well, hell, we've pulled people from Nebraska.
Well, whenever we
They might
had,
come. I'm talking.
whenever we had Mother's Day Madness there, we had Terre Haute, Indiana
Yep.
was there.
Yeah.
And they drove all the way across Missouri from fucking Kansas. So they'll show up.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's all big road to get there. I mean,
Hell, the worst part is all the congestion trying to get through the town.
Yeah.
To get to the track.
Yep.
Unless somebody come up 168, they
Yeah.
just go from Jake's house and they come in that way. Then
Yeah.
you ain't got to mess with all that bullshit.
Exactly.
But let's just start it. Street stocks.
So I think Justin would probably be the best one to talk there, but I think we're going to go with Ultimate Derby street stock rules. I've talked to Chris.
Absolutely.
He's cool with it, and there's a ton of guys around here that run those rules and have cars sitting that they can't run anywhere else. So if you want to touch on that a little bit.
well, I mean, you got all the qualifier shows that
Yeah.
are in the 3 states that I'm talking about. I mean, right there, there's a minimum of 15 cars that are available.
Absolutely. And I guess I don't know what I want to say on that, but sorry. I'm getting too far away from the mic, I guess. No, I want to keep it a clean show for sure. So, like, if you go out to South Dakota, that's the type of tech you're going to look at here in Palmyra. I don't want to stray too far from that because eventually it'd be cool to turn it into a possible qualifying event.
Yes.
For South Dakota.
Well, and with everything that's coming out right now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a South Dakota qualifier.
Well, that's
No.
true. You're
I mean,
right.
with all the shit that Demo's doing,
Yeah.
even Tim Clark and them, the stuff that they're implementing, you got Sam Williams with, Gold Rush Nationals, and now you've got Madison coming up, Badger Nationals.
Yeah.
Like the possibilities of where you could be a step up to
Absolutely.
is endless.
And-
And with
and-
the rule base, the way it's trying to go, like that ultimate derby, I'm going to catch shit over this. That ultimate derby street stock has been kind of the underlying
It is.
rule setter
Well, it's just like
for that class.
It's just what's really cool about what's going on right now in the Derby world is you've got, and I know Steven, you're not a dirt track racer,
Right.
and I grew up around it, and I know you have too, but there's sanctioning bodies.
Oh yeah,
In dirt track world, and that's kind of where this is going with the Derby and stuff. Which
Yeah.
is how often has it been so nice? Like, hey, they've got the exact same rules at this show.
Yes.
and we can take our car over there,
And
it's
that's
so
what-
nice to see that development.
And that's
in the
what we
last few
keep
years.
talking about and hammering on is people have to have a place to go with these heavy built national cars
Absolutely.
because it's fresh only. Well, fuck, man.
and not want to have to go to a show that they're going to, excuse me, sorry. And they don't want to go run a show that they're going to have to run against cars that are plated from the bumper to bumper.
Unless they've got the same fucking car
Right, but
that's
even
sitting
then-
behind the shed.
Yeah.
It's been sitting back there for 5 years because every time at Blizzard Bash, I'll use that for an example. Fresh cars only.
Right.
Well, we've built another heavy fucking mod that the
Absolutely.
ass ends blowed off of, but
Yep.
laid into the tank protector. It's already in the pinion protector and everything else. The car's not going to move anymore. It's straight as fuck up front, but it's sitting behind the shed because I got to have a fresh one to take back.
Right.
I'm gonna name bomb him, but Denton Bixel.
Yeah.
He's got shit sitting out there at his place.
CJ
he
Barnes.
He can't.
The
CJ
shit
too.
sitting
That
behind
stuff he's
CJ.
So
sitting
that-
that he can't run.
So
Oh, yeah.
he's name dropping, but he's also challenging them.
Yeah, I want to.
We're gonna challenge you guys to come bring them cars back out.
Avery was actually messaging me the other day, asking me about the rules for Palmyra.
Well,
and-
I think Levi gave him a little heads up. Levi Vance has messaged
Yeah.
me. He's like, "What are you doing? Give me a
Yeah.
heads up." I was like, "Well,
I
took
challenged
it.
him
Here's
to
what
it.
we're
Well,
doing."
it's because like you've got Trey Hammond, Stephen Hayhurst, Grant Bowling.
Absolutely.
All these guys have street stock cars laying around.
Yeah. So I'm taking this as a challenge to all those guys. Like, we want to see you in Palmyra. It's gonna be a show.
Well, and Palmyra is right at that time. Dude, that's how I made Paris what it was, is I piggybacked off of Palmyra and Bowling Green. They run the same fucking classes whenever I was doing all that shit, and I'm like, okay, hey, You've got 2 weeks to fix your shit, and I've got somewhere for you to run it.
Absolutely.
Here's 2 more plates.
And that's reasonable to do.
Yes, 100%. And they would, because they're like, oh, fuck, I want to get all my shit out of here before Blizzard Bash comes up.
Yeah,
You know?
and who wouldn't want another chance at $3,000
Yeah.
Right.
before that? You know.
Yes.
So,
And Mad Dog.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why everybody's like, man, why don't you have a show with fresh cars? I'm like, I'm not fucking doing it. We're county fair.
If you want to bring fresh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why whenever we implemented our plate rule, and Justin was a big part of that deal, whenever we implement, for the cleanup show, we let him have 10 plates in the stock class.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, fuck it. Let the fresh ones have them, too. I'm like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah,
If you all want to build a fresh one, put 10 plates on the motherfucker.
Well, I
Plates,
mean,
10 plates.
And we had a handful of fresh cars.
Yeah.
how many guys really build a fresh car and then beat it up so they can run all the plates they want to
A
run?
lot. They
You know
do.
what I mean?
A lot.
That old oak tree out back took a
I was gonna
beating.
say, why is there 4 foot of no bark on this big fucking tree in your backyard?
I seen a Buick one time that was green.
I don't know why you use trees. I just use other cars.
That's what I was doing.
It's got to look legit.
This is pre-run just in the front end. It's not. It's spotless. You can wax the fenders
I
on
even
the
stuck the forks from the tractor to the door so it looked like it'd been loaded up before. I mean,
But I mean, it is the pre-run world is almost forgot about with all these national level shows out there, and it's people like what you all are doing that will give these guys an opportunity to get rid of these fucking cars,
yes.
Absolutely.
and it'll make a show because hell, at Mother's Day or whenever we have Mother's Day Madness, we let pre-runs in
Yeah.
for the team show.
80% of the cars were reruns.
Fucking A, they were.
Yeah.
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 Compacts as well because when
Well,
Jake,
yeah, but you can run
Jake,
one of those for 6 fucking years.
You can only crush a beer can so far.
To be fair, I had one trash first time, Palmyra. I don't know, it was like 5 or 6 years
Well, that's
ago.
because you built.
You just didn't know.
No,
I wasn't gonna say it.
it was 3.
I wasn't gonna
it was
kick
3
him while he
against
was
1.
down.
You know which one that was.
Yeah.
I got beat up pretty bad.
We'd already kicked his legs out from underneath that.
A similar thing happened in
back.
Madison once upon a time too. Them telephone poles hurt like a bitch. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But
But I mean, it is. It's like with the compact stuff. I mean, they were doing the same shit.
Yeah.
Fresh cars only.
Mm-hmm.
So they've literally cut those compacts in half to get their shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because after you have tied one in and all that shit, it's over whenever you cut it apart. Like there's not like a big car. You can salvage it, slap it back together.
bing, bong, dong.
Yeah.
Shit's moving and creaking and cracking, and yeah. So you're going with the UD street stock rules. The second car build on that list is stock.
yeah. So we're gonna go. So Palmyra kind of kept this class, but they didn't really
They didn't take it.
tech it right. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go just open year. I'm not gonna mess with the 03 and newer, stuff. I mean, they'll be allowed to run,
Right.
but we'll have to, we'll designate what you got to do there. But it had been outlawed, at that point.
Well, I
They
know
didn't
them
allow it.
pretty well, so.
Justin loves them. So we're gonna run 4 to 6 plates, fresh or pre-ran. You're gonna have a loaded bumper, be able to put a strap on your front A-arm per side, 6-inch bumper brackets, and stock rear ends, no bracing. Don't really care about tires and rims. I don't want them like braced up though. It's just gonna be a
Yeah. Small center.
small center,
Bead protector maybe.
yeah, and it's gonna be stock. I mean,
Yeah.
it's what the cars that I built.
I'm assuming 4 down tubes.
Yep.
For,
That's a safety thing for me.
It is, 100%.
Including the halo.
Yeah.
As long as I'm promoting, there will be 4 down tubes to the frame.
I'm assuming 24-inch tank protector.
Yep.
Yep.
Just pretty standard,
Yeah.
the rest of it. So,
A lot of guys like
And
to
you
go
can
back
fucking get away with all that tank protector bullshit. Just let it touch sheet metal because they're gonna fucking do it anyway.
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean,
But
that
I
build,
don't know. I'm wishy-washy about
Yeah.
that. You make them have 4 inches. A car. I mean, I've been a lot of cars. Obviously, a car's got to move a long ways. To touch
yeah, but after it's pre-run,
it. Sorry.
but after it's pre-run,
Sorry.
hold on. Let's get him. Let's get him. Let's get him.
DerbyNation.tv is your one-stop shop for your Demolition Derby pay-per-view needs. With a schedule like no other, you can catch all the shows you want to watch at the touch of a button from the comfort of your living room without leaving your house. But pay-per-view derbies aren't the only thing that they can get you. You can also carry a monthly subscription to watch the ever-growing Derby Builds, where you get all the behind-the-scenes action on different build processes with the Derby Builds team, including team show cars and even some national-level youth builds.
And if you can't make it to that big show in person, go ahead, host that shop watch party, and let DerbyNation.tv bring excitement of Demolition Derby action straight to your shop live on your TV. My only argument with that is, and I think me and you had the same fucking argument 4 years ago, is if you're allowing pre-runs, they're going to make the motherfucker touch. Because
right.
you can't tell them it's got to be well, fuck you, this bent, and now it's touching.
Yeah,
It backs
the
not,
speaker deck
motherfucker,
is on
because
my head.
there's a 4x6 piece of metal behind your tank protector
Yeah,
now.
well,
But
that's the thing. That's back on us. Like, no, cut that out.
You know, I from the front, the seat body mount to the top of the hump, if that car frame doesn't show any sign of stress and that tank protector's touching, it's obvious you're taking it out.
right. But you see what I'm...
Yeah, I get what you're
It's
saying.
like the 60-inch door bar that I have fought my whole fucking life, because the guy that shows up with 62, but his tank protector is welded to the back half of it, you're not going to make him cut it off.
I think 64 is pretty common.
It is.
So
Actually, Jerry fixed that in our rules,
Well,
and he just said it had to be 4 inches off of...
Any sheet metal.
Yes, sir.
That actually doesn't sound like a bad rule.
Because then it just stops it.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
stick a fucking tape back there, and as long as it's not... Because your hump will be...
Well forward.
will be your furthest point forward. You measure 4 inches off the
6
motherfucker. It's
inches
done.
off the firewall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think what Steven's getting at is like a lot of the promoters in like Utah, they're simplifying their rules because they're taking shit that really doesn't make a fuck.
Like that 3 inches on the backside of a 60-inch door bar don't make a fuck.
No, don't make a lick
Not
of
even a
difference.
drop.
No.
But if you have it in the rules, you need to enforce it.
Right.
Yeah.
So what these guys are doing, they're taking some of that little ticky-tack shit and they're just taking it out.
Like the
They're
fucking
speeding up their
extra
tech.
inch of a fucking weld on a door seam. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I've never made a guy. cut an
Anytime
inch off
I
with a
see
door weld.
a cut mark on a fucking door seam that's welded, I'm like, you all wasted paint.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen that shit win the fucking derby. I've watched people step out of the fucking car, open the fucking door, and get out.
Oh yeah.
So that extra weld is not what's doing it,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. Like, you got to be more particular about the shit that means something.
100%.
You know, like that nicky-knack crap. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't nitpick
Like,
that
I'm
stuff.
Like, I would rather somebody overlook the welded trunk lid and be like, hey, those are solid fucking motor mounts.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that LS is pushed back in the fucking firewall, and that is a 4L60 underneath there that's locked to the fucking...
Cross member.
Yeah, like, hey, let's not worry about the 2 inches of weld on the fucking door seam, and let's get this motor cut loose.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, too, in that class. Motor mounts or stock motor mounts.
Yes.
You know.
As it
yeah.
should be. Stock trailing arms.
And you can
Did y'all
build
see
it-
that?
You can
As soon
build-
as somebody said LS, do you see him perk the fuck up?
You can build a good car with stock
You know what?
motor mounts.
Yes.
That's what the number 9 class in P Hill
Yes.
was. I built the car for it. Them cars were stout, and
Yes.
they had stock lower motor mounts.
I'll have an LS for I have a Mopar any day.
That's okay. I've got away from that.
He finally put his big boy pants on.
I did.
I can't say much though. I've had bad luck with LS lately.
Just once.
Just once.
That was a big fucking bad look.
That was bad luck.
How many passes did you have on that?
One. got some dyno time.
Did you make a full pass?
I made a full pass. I did.
He just didn't get to make a
And
second
we were
one.
trying to get the 60-foot dialed in before going to a race and let go right there in the parking lot. So, bad deal.
And when we say let go, dudes, we're talking let the fuck go.
It was Hiroshima in that bottle.
So, now we'll get to it. World Compacts. That's Mr. Jake's.
We'll lean on Jake on that one.
That's Jake's
Man,
little.
it's going to be really simple because, I mean, the Palmyra rules for the last probably 4 or 5 years.
I left 3 years ago, so I don't know anything.
Well,
about the
yeah,
last
maybe
year.
not. Maybe 3. It's basically been Blizzard Bash rules without, the full cradle and locking it in. Now it's full on run your cradle, have lock-ins, tie-ins, whatever. So if you want to refer to the Blizzard Bash rules,
Sorry.
if you're getting into Blizzard Bash, you're going to run a Palmyra. That's as simple as that.
So,
What were y'all talking about?
I think what they're
Mr.
saying,
Cutthroat over
I should
here.
have given you more of a heads up about Steven and his love
I
for
know.
compacts.
I know.
he
I know
knows them
Steven.
all.
I dealt with Steven with Clayton Fernandez.
I know everybody was like, "Don't let him in." I'm like, I don't give a fuck if they derby out here in the parking lot.
I know.
Y'all are holding up a fucking show.
Right.
Like,
I
let
love
this
Clayton
car-
to death, but he liked to push my buttons.
He did too.
So,
Love you,
is it
Clayton.
August 1st?
Yes,
Yes.
August 1st.
Okay, so it'll be Friday, August 1st in Palmyra, Missouri. So, anybody who has a Blizzard Bash mod compact sitting around,
Or
guys, you
Camaro.
got someplace
Camaro,
to take
Camaro.
it. So, what they're saying is these guys are not scared of rear-wheel drive shit.
I'd love to see a Camaro, Fox body,
I want to see a G body.
a Volvo wagon, something like
They'll-
that.
they'll
you
make
know.
it.
Well, I know where there's a
The
Volvo.
I know
two-door
there's one,
Cutlass,
too.
They short enough?
It's got a
two-door
pretty good
Cutlass that
4.3 in
will
it.
meet the
I do, I know
wheelbase.
where
Yep.
one's at. I'd love to
Should look
see
at
that
it.
come out of retirement.
I'd love to see it.
No, I mean, I would almost run one of those
What,
because I feel
Cutlass?
like I was in, like a G body
Yeah.
because the wheelbase is right.
Because you're loving that mid-size shit.
Well, here,
Well, I
here
do
we go.
too, like-
The compact haters talking about building a compact.
I said I would run one.
no. So, yours is pretty
It's cut and dry.
Yours is pretty goddamn simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried
Is
to
what
make
it is.
That rule set's been around for what, 15 years?
Yeah, they
With
haven't
some-
changed much. I
Yeah,
mean,
little bitty
bit of
tweaks,
plate
shit here
rule.
and there.
And
Shit
like I
here.
said, I was letting that stuff in, just making them not, run the tie-ins and stuff like that for the Palmyra show before. Because we were trying to appease the guys that have been running Palmyra for years,
Correct.
but then trying to get new guys in. But, they're like, I'm not cutting my shit up, which I totally understand. But, the guys have been coming from Palmyra for years and they don't want to run a cradle.
Guess what?
go to the gut and go.
Best
Now we
of
got
luck.
a gut and go.
Yeah, best of luck to you, or go to gut and go.
Yeah.
Because I want the car count.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so
You can always build a big car.
if you're running Blizzard Bash
That's
rules,
gay.
You're going to spend just as much money?
you can take
100%.
a Spring X car and build it up.
Yes.
You can take an Austin Johnson hobo car and build it up.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to build fresh, and you don't have to say, like Wyatt Fink. Wyatt built a car just to run Blizzard Bash.
Yeah.
He has car left, so he can take it to Carnage, and he's probably going to have a car left. But now he can turn around and fix whatever he needs to fix after Carnage and bring it August 1st.
Yep. So, those East Pike boys, Tyler Verdon, Hobbs, all those
Yeah,
guys. There should
Tyler
be
Pickens,
Tyler Pickens. No
Cody
reason,
Bedsworth, all them guys.
I'd love to
no
see
reason
all of them come
any
back.
of those guys
Brady.
should-
I mean, all
Yes.
those guys have cars. Ryan down south.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I
Yeah.
can see his face.
Yeah. He ran out there at Blizzard Bash. I can't think of his name. Probably ought to cut that
People
out of
sleep
there.
on our well compact drivers around here because they can put on a show.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, and help Blake and Big
Bradley.
D.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
Bradley.
yeah. I mean, you,
What's the other one
Yeah.
that was always a pain in my ass?
Hold on, no.
All
Usually,
the above?
usually that's the
Man.
easiest way to say it. All the
James
above.
Smith. I love him. He says he's retiring, but I'd like to see him show up Palmyra.
are you sure it wasn't retarded?
Yeah.
Well, I you know what? I like him.
I do
He's
too.
all right.
I'd
He
like to
just-
see him show up.
You know,
I'd love to see him
it
show
used
up.
to be a legit fight between me and him, but now it's just slow jabs between each other, and it's turned into something
Yeah.
fun. So I'm good with it
He's
anymore.
got one of those Lumina vans.
Yes.
He may have sold it. I don't know, but
He did at one point.
But I'd like to see him bring that in the hobo class.
Okay, now there's the next class. You have gut and goes.
Yep.
Yes.
Are you throwing them all out there like they always have been, and you're not listening to the people. Well, the vans need fucking separated.
No,
the van,
Dude, a fucking sedan wins that more than a van does.
So here's the thing when it comes to that.
If Cody Meyer shows up, though,
sorry,
bank don't care.
he'll be there.
Yeah, he already
Actually,
told me.
I think we found out the other day he made a post. I think the bank actually did care.
Was that hit him with a tax form?
Really?
He made a post about it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Gotta start paying that guy cash.
Because I commented on it. I was like, so what you're telling us is, like, the bank did care.
Did in fact care.
that 1099. They said, yeah, we care now.
Yeah. No, the thing is, like, if I only get allotted, we only get allotted so much money for the payout. If I go and separate it, I got to split that money.
Correct.
And it wouldn't be almost worth running at that point. So,
Well,
like Steven said, I've seen sedans. Yeah, the vans go out there and they wax ass. They do.
yeah, I mean, I've seen guys win with sedans just as much as vans.
We watched a sedan win a $3,000 to win show right here.
Because the vans were cleaning the track
up.
off.
Yeah.
And then he kept his nose clean, and there you go.
I mean,
Knocked the wheel off a van, it was over.
If you're a good driver, it's up in the air, really.
Which is crazy in that fucking class. Because
You gotta try it.
you can be a really good driver, and then you've got that 16-year-old kid that's got his grandma's Sunfire that is wide open off the fucking rip and blows the axle out of your van. You're like, fuck.
What happened?
Well,
And he's sitting there just grinning.
It takes off.
First time I got
He's gone.
First time I got knocked out was I was in a Sunfire. I won it from Kenny Bringer on a raffle. And this thing, it looked like the cage was made out of this old swing set.
Somebody's kid was pissed off. Cut the trampoline out.
Well, it was at Quincy Raceways.
Swing set,
They did not
trampoline tubes.
water the track down or nothing. And I just heard dot, 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 dot. And I looked to my left, and this, I think it was a Ford Focus.
It was a
It's
Ford
coming at
Focus.
me at mock Jesus. And next thing I know, I wake up and everybody's on the hood looking at me. I'm just like, oh fuck!
What are you all
Funny
doing in
story,
here?
that car came from my shop.
Oh, that happened between you two.
And my best friend was driving it.
He about killed me.
Now,
It threw Sawyer Baker out the passenger window.
Danger Dave was driving
I do
it.
remember that now.
Because Sawyer was going to ride with me, and I was like, you better buckle up. And he's
What?
like, oh, you compact guys are a bunch of pussies. Y'all don't hit that hard. First hit, he about flew out the window. So he's grabbing for the seat.
We put him in that car last minute, and I was like, Dave, just go out there and just junk as much stuff as you can.
Yeah.
And he went out there and he put that car in reverse and right off the line, ripped across the track, hit somebody so hard the back wheels come 4 foot off the ground.
That was me.
No, was it?
I felt like it.
And then he pulls forward again, and I see him take off, and then here you come around the corner, and it was just.
Oh, it hurt bad.
I know. I was scared for you, man. I really was. I really felt bad. I did.
You know, the whole
And the guy, he did feel bad. Dave.
Well, it V'd the floorboard.
Yeah.
That's how hard he stroked us, dude.
The whole time I was flagging for that class, I'm like, man, I hope somebody don't die today. Like, fuck, here we go again.
I spent more time jumping off the berm in that
Yes.
class than I did watching because the fuckers go anywhere.
That was my first documented concussion.
That's why I loved it whenever there was 30 of them bitches that showed up. I'm like, I'm putting them all on track at once.
Like half a track.
It's just slow,
Half a track.
slow the fuck down.
Was that a Ford Focus? I felt,
Dude, that was
I
a-
couldn't. I don't remember because it was coming at me so fast.
I'm
Peterbilt.
surprised I
Yeah,
haven't
it
seen
did.
more of them run, but it was a Focus Wagon Sport 5-speed.
Yep.
And that thing never moved in the back. It like pushed the roof down so he couldn't see. That's probably another reason he ended up getting hit.
Yeah.
But he said, I was looking through like a 4-inch gap because after he made that first hit, it kind of like came together. But other than that, dude, it
So
was
it was
solid.
not a Ford Focus wagon; it was a Ford Focus sedan.
It might have been slightly pre-bent with a track hole.
I keep waiting for somebody to show up in this gut and go class with a pre-run van. That's
Sedan.
today. Nobody's done it yet, but I keep waiting because there was nothing in my rules that said you couldn't do that.
You're right.
God,
So-
you just opened a can of worms.
Maybe you want to go ahead and change a
No,
bit
I ain't
of
changing
wording.
it.
I wanna
I'm
see
down
it.
for it.
Because it's cracked me up. Hell, at a few of our shows, you were allowed any bumper. And
Scary,
I've
scary
seen-
bumpers, man.
I've seen several pointies on.
Well, and
on gut and goes.
I will add that on the gut and go. I don't care if they run Chrysler pointy.
Yeah, I think we
I
need
do
to add
not-
that on.
I want it cut down though.
Hold on, no, somebody is just catering to fucking Cody Meyer.
No, I don't care.
So bad.
No.
I want to
I'd let
make
that
that
fly
mention too. That
forever.
in the stock class, we're going to allow you to run a replica bumper because
Yes, Jesus Christ.
trying to
yes.
buy a $500 Chrysler bumper and
Every
that
show?
stuff, yeah, that's unrealistic.
All I ask is if you put one of those big ass bumpers on a gut and go, weld it on good. For the love of Christ.
Please.
Well, it'll only hold to the sheet metal that's behind it. Like
I'm
I've tried.
a 14-inch bumper strap too.
I don't know how many times I've tried to explain that to people. They call me and they're like, "Hey, can I run this?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can." I was like, "But that's half-inch steel that you're welding to 16 gauge sheet metal."
You just got to start saying, "Well, we're going to keep the bumper if we have to pick it up."
Something.
Yeah, because I don't want to be carrying them fuckers off.
You can't. Some of them
No.
you can't.
But I will say, like, for this gut and go, guys, if you guys show up, please run the right fuel line. I can't
Absolutely.
tell you
Well,
how
make
many
'em.
times.
We got to make them.
We will not let you run if your car is
No.
unsafe. Like
I
that.
am not
Because
shitting you.
I got his Snapchat from 2 years ago, and that's what we were talking about.
Yes.
A fucking beer bottle.
Yeah, they had a beer bottle covering the old, because they put the factory tank in the car.
Fuck
which
that,
is
dude.
fine.
Fuck
a
that.
beer bottle,
But they put a beer bottle over the fill hose and zip tied it.
like a glass bottle.
Glass
Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
I mean,
would've
it was,
been like,
it was
"Here,
definitely
neck.
it was definitely a
The
late
neck
night
was
shot.
going into it.
They
Yeah,
were
but
drunk.
You're telling me
know?
they didn't have an aluminum can they could
Right?
zip tie to the bottle?
Fuck, you know.
They'll slip right over the top
But dude, I've seen electric.
with a hose
fuel-
clamp.
I've seen electric fuel pump in a fuel cell. They couldn't get it hooked up right. They just twisted around the terminals and had it just
Yeah.
Dangling in there.
bouncing around in a tank. I'm like,
It's only
you
the-
are going.
It's just the fumes that ignite, not the gas.
Yeah.
Dude, but it's just. And take all the plastic off, for the love of
Oh, that's not going to
Yeah.
happen. You can just
They
fix
make-
that
those
shit
guys,
until you
I love
blow the
those
fucking-
guys.
You'll be
But
taking
they
it
make-
off in the pits.
They make tech.
Yeah, and then you pick it up out of the pits. It's
That's
awesome.
a big thing too. Like I hate, like you'll tell a guy to go bust that stuff off, and you go the next morning or that night to go clean up, and there's half of us plastic laying there in the middle
At
of
least
the
pile it up.
Yeah. Throw it away.
Well,
Put it in
yeah,
your truck.
I pulled a truck bed trailer, a fucking long bed truck bed trailer full of bullshit out of the pits down here.
Jesus.
Oh yeah,
Plastic bumper covers, fucking
door handles.
trim,
And please weld your cage.
Yes.
I mean, I had a guy show up at that Lewis
T-post. Is that are they
No.
okay
Well,
for back seat bar?
Hey,
Fuck
one
me.
one year at Palmyra, 1 year at Palmyra, a guy showed up, didn't have a cage at all, and I said, "You got to figure out something."
Teddy
He
did
he
that
took
here
the ramps
and won.
Oh yeah.
off
Yeah,
of his
trailer
trailer,
Shoved it down in the fucking
and
door.
shoved it. Well, he got smoked so bad that he couldn't get the ramp out of the car, so he couldn't load the car up.
They
Karma,
did that
bitch.
shit down here, and I told them, I was like, I'm not pulling the fucking ramp out of it.
Can't.
And they were like, well, how do we get it out? I said, if it was me, I'd hook a chain onto the motherfucker and drive.
But no, I had a guy show up to Lewistown last year, and I mean, the cage was tack welded. And I said, dude, you're going to die. I'm not going to say his name because I do like the guy. He's nice as can be. But please just take your time.
If I can take a sledgehammer and knock your fucking cage apart,
Well,
If I could, yeah.
first hit, the halo bar came off.
seen that shit happen before.
And it's
Seen that on a big
But
car one
the
time.
problem
No
is
more.
that's not only not safe for the guy in the car. That's not safe for the guys that
are-
It might come through his windshield.
Right,
yeah, I don't want, I
Crash
don't want
through the window and
anybody.
smack it with
I don't want anybody getting impaled
No.
or hurt. We're all doing this for fun.
Lewistown kind of has a history of stuff coming up through floorboards.
Well, yeah, and
Well, where was that? Wasn't it your show that we had a door go or a bumper go through somebody's door?
It was John
John
Petrowski that fucking
bumper came off that goddamn
and
camera.
went straight out
Yeah.
and went through the pass. We had to get a skid loader out there to pull
Yeah.
the fucking bumper out of the other car.
That's Shavina.
No, that was here.
No, I was
On
gonna say, I
that-
think it was here.
that Parrish boy last year got his leg snapped.
Yeah.
At Macon.
At Macon, and dude, that was nasty. I was helping get him out or whatever, and I went to grab his leg and his ankle, and
It was
slipped,
pointed the wrong
and
way.
it this felt oof. It was like Jello.
Here, this is yours.
That's
Well, and I felt bad because that kid's so nice. He's always so easy to deal
yes. Both
I
of
think he
them.
dropped
with. All the
the.
Paris
Yeah.
boys are, you know, and I felt bad.
Remember that girl from
announcing
Palmyra?
that
fuck,
show.
dude.
I'm sitting
We
there.
told the motherfuckers not to do what they were doing.
Dude, they left that battery in the floorboard and took that monster hit in the passenger door, and that chick got her foot broken by that battery.
Yeah.
And the dude picked her up out of the car, and her ankle just.
You know, as an announcer, you're sitting there and you know what's happening because you've got a guy right next to you with headsets.
Yeah.
But are you going to tell 3,000 people that this dude's ankle is pointing the wrong direction?
Ah, fuck!
No, you're not.
Well, that's probably what they heard from me over the radio.
Landon looks at me, he goes, "It's bad." I was like, "Oh." This episode is brought to you by Broadhead Decals. From door wraps and roof signs, window stickers and banners, let Broadhead Decals take care of all your vinyl needs with only quality products used.
Justin's graphic design abilities will get you everything you could ever want. With super fast shipping, their turnaround time is second to none. So let Broadhead Decals take you to the next level. Triple B's Tees offer custom shirts and logo designs for all your apparel and merchandise needs, offering a variety of shirts, hats, hoodies, tumblers, and koozies. Triple B's will work with you one-on-one to personalize and perfect your logo. With over 5 years in the business, 20 years in the sport, they live for Demolition Derby.
Chunk and his crew can bring your imagination to realization with zero limitations. So for all your badass tees, choose Triple B's.
But anyway, it sounds like y'all are 100% on track to get that show where it needs to be.
Absolutely.
I hope so. I wasn't born and raised in Palmyra by no means, but I've lived around there for 10 years, 11 years, something like that. And I'd like to see it back the way it was.
Absolutely.
Oh, and it's way doable.
Last year was the first year I haven't helped be a part of it in several years, and it was just because I wasn't happy
Right.
with where it went. I stuck around after Dakota stepped away from it to try
Right.
to help keep it going, and it was just better to walk away.
I mean, we've talked about it. What was it, 20? You still had it. We came over, helped with some tech, and that's when guys weren't ready for it. And that's where we had to throw up the Run What You Brung class.
Yeah.
Because dudes
Which
were
was
pulling
still
up,
cool as shit.
Yeah, which dudes were pulling up in
I don't
line, and they're
necessarily
like,
know
"There's
that they
no fucking
weren't
way."
ready for it.
Yeah.
Because I remember one particular car came in there and he had 2x2 shoved from the back bumper to the rear hump.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because they were so used to getting
well,
through
yeah,
with whatever.
you're right.
And then that was that nut cutting time where everybody's like, "Oh shit!" So the next year, most everybody was built legit.
Yep.
We've always said it. You go and you don't have to cut. You're fucked, Steven.
Shut up.
Well, it only takes that 1 year to shock people. Like,
It does.
Oh shit, they do know what they're doing. And I'm not saying this is a warning, because the guys know, like the the drivers and builders and stuff. They know, like, okay, these guys are teching. They know their shit.
Correct.
So this shouldn't be a shock to anybody this year. You know what's coming, and yeah, it's gonna be.
But
I'm gonna try and rewind 3 years and just step right back into it. You know, like, and from what I've been told and people I've talked to and Justin's talked to and Jake's talked to, and people are excited. You know, so
Absolutely.
they're gonna come back. And hell, I've got some guys that have not been back for 4 years. They're like, "Oh, you guys got it again? Yeah, all right, we'll be there."
I'd like to see, like, you know, the Doyles back.
Absolutely.
You know, Corey Luddington, all those guys, because they put on a show.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, most of the famous TikTok videos are from Palmyra.
Yeah.
I mean,
Old SmackDown cold day.
yeah. I mean, I'm excited.
Well, I'm just throwing this out there, dudes. Any show that Colt goes to, it's
It's a party.
Absolutely.
A, it's a party, and B, somebody's going viral.
Yeah. And you know, I'd love to see 100 cars again.
Yeah.
That's our dream.
And it's doable.
Hell yeah, that's doable.
Yeah.
That's
You bringing
doable
one?
because
What?
just the
You
4
bringing
classes
one?
that you're
You've
running.
never actually ran Palmyra, have you?
No, I've always been on the fucking dirt.
Hey, I'll help you build a gut and go.
No, I know how big that fucking track is.
We'll get a van. How about a van?
No,
Come on.
wrong.
We'll get a Grand Caravan. So you're still in a Mopar.
Nah.
Man, I'm trying to.
Yeah, you tried. E for effort.
Man,
Stock car you could do though.
I've got a piece of shit Cadillac.
You do.
It's got to come apart. I'm gonna fucking scrap it. Those are junk.
I don't know why you bothered with the metric. You've seen what happened to that one.
Yeah, that was insane. Well, whenever I backed into the dirt and fucking hump blew out, I knew it was bad.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to see this lawnmower derby.
Okay, there it is.
That's what I'm excited.
So you guys are doing lawnmowers.
Potentially, that's still got to get passed, but it's already been brought up, and they're kind of the committee that's now in charge of the derby. They've shown some interest in it. I've looked over the rules; they seem pretty simple, and kind of been given some names to go talk to about.
I'm gonna guess maybe a Jock Bryson.
That Ethan
name
guy.
got brought up.
Yeah.
Ethan.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got talked about. So I just need to get a hold of them and just kind of pick their brains a little bit, and because I've never teched a freaking lawnmower. Hell, I hate changing the blades on mine.
Well, you don't tech them because like those guys will tech their own shit.
Really?
Easy enough to look at.
So
They're
they keep each other in check. Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. So like if you've got Jock Bryson, Jock, and a couple guys, they tech all the mowers, make you cut and do whatever, and then give you a stick.
Yeah.
Because I said it on here and people were crazy, thought I was fucking retarded. I had never watched a mower derby.
Oh, it's a blast.
I watched
It
one in
looks-
California
it
the
looks
year before, and I was like, okay, now this is like a retard level.
I watched
that
the
I can
video
get down
for the first
on.
time, and I was like, these fuckers are nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they seem like they're actually a lot safer than I anticipated them being, and I was like, okay.
With
the
the
crowd
leg,
loves this.
yeah, with the leg guards and shit. But like when Ethan,
Yeah.
he was just saying Ethan Coke, he was at Pleasant Hill, he was hitting people in wheelies.
Dude, that was the first time I've ever seen a lawnmower demo down there at P Hill, and it had my interest, and that says something.
Yeah, he can't get on board with it.
What?
It's okay.
We're gonna build you one of them lawnmower cars.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to wait the
I'm
front.
good. Yeah, they know shit. I'll be the one, the motherfucker. Oh, well, he's out. He flipped over. Fuck.
Either a wheelie bar or get some.
Can we put them on a zero
track
turn?
boards.
That'd be easier.
Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. I'd be down with something like that. With a pointy on it.
Yeah, pointing on all four sides.
Yes. That's my stabilizers. I'm just shaking my head.
Shit.
Oh man. But
So you guys, you're talking about that. That'd be something new and exciting.
Yeah.
And I think the crowd will absolutely go batshit.
People love that shit. We got to watch that out there in Ohio. And the crowd loved it.
Oh yeah. I mean,
those were pretty badass lawnmowers out there. Like,
P Hill had them. Griggsville had them.
Griggsville was cool because that's where we seen the little 12-year-old that had a fucking entourage with him.
Yes.
He had a whole group of buddies with him that was just following him
It
around.
was like his hype crew.
Oh yeah.
It was his posse.
Nice.
He's buying them strippers and shit.
Getting,
Rolling.
getting everybody bug juice.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
And if anybody that's listening that wants to check out and kind of see what Palmyra's setup's like, YouTube, get on there, look up.
Just look up the Marion County, Palmyra, Missouri Derby, and you will see all kinds of videos. I think there's videos all the way back from like 09.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, I know Bo Bart's had a
Yeah,
bunch
Bo's
on
got
there.
a lot
Yeah.
posted.
and there is a badass, like you can watch the whole fucking show. Our Mother's Day Madness is still
Yeah.
on TSL on there. So
Yeah.
that,
Well, and in that COVID year, where Doyle and Jennings got
Yeah.
into it, that 2.5 hour one's on
Uh-huh.
there. I watch that thing at least a couple times a year.
Yeah.
It's just that show was probably.
yeah, because that was wild. I was standing on the dirt and I was like, he's dead. Like, I hit the headset
Do you
and I was
remember
like,
what I was saying
Yeah.
up top? I was
Yeah.
like, we're gonna have to keep an eye on this. I was like, guys, he's backing up, and it just parted like the red freaking.
there was
sea.
nothing you could say. Like I hit the headset and was like,
I was
like,
I was on that wall where he hit
yeah,
and the ground shook.
yeah.
And I
Well,
was
it
like,
shook where I was at. And I was at the other end of the
That
fucking
is
track.
still to this day, I think, the hardest hit, other than that Adams hit on that one dude. You remember that?
Well,
that video?
Yes.
The one at Champagne.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I think what was it 2 years ago when he stroked Corey Luddington.
There's an in car of that.
Corey was in the passenger side of
Yeah.
his car. I was like,
I don't know that I've seen that.
That was probably the
Corey was
nastiest bruise.
it was there
it
at
was at
Palmyra.
Palmyra. Same wall, same corner,
Everything.
The following year.
Yeah, the following. I think it was the
Okay.
following year because I made the joke. I was like, we just need to paint Doyle on that wall over there
Yeah.
because that's his sweet spot.
Yeah, because Corey was taking a nap.
I do remember that.
He was bruised from his belly button
Uh-huh.
to the center of his back.
Well, and I was gonna try to help him get out. That's a big boy. I was struggling.
Yeah, I haven't seen the end car.
Yeah, there's an in-car of it, I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
The actual
It was
car.
violent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it up there at the shop. We were doing some scrapping
Yeah.
up there, and it's rough.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to do 4 classes with the possibility of mowers. You're going to do, I'm just going to say it, you're going to have a Mad Dog in every class.
$500.
$500 Mad Dog.
So there shouldn't be any pussyfooting around.
Still going to happen.
Possibility for more in the street stock.
That's just base right
Yes.
there. That's
Payout has not
That's
been set
before
in
they
stone.
have
Yeah.
talked to anybody.
we haven't
about
gotten any sponsor payments yet or anything. We're still going to be drumming some of that stuff up. So yeah, if a sponsor wants to designate, hey, I want this to go to Mad Dog in this class, guess what? It's going straight on top of the 500.
I think the higher the Mad Dog we can get, the better show you're going to have. I've never been to a high-paying Mad Dog show and seen a slow show.
No, 100%.
Hey.
Well, it'll make your drivers really drive.
Absolutely.
Go to Utah with us.
Yep.
When?
They drive like retards for $3,000.
Yes.
I mean, I drive like a retard for $12,000 or $1,200.
Yeah, they do it
I've
for
seen
free.
you drive like a retard for 500.
Yeah,
I've seen him drive like a retard for free.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anybody that's got him on
Why do you think we
Snapchat.
didn't have him drive up here?
Yeah, they made me park at the Rocket, and we like hot vehicles. I'm like, I felt like this was planned out.
Like, yeah, you can sit in the back.
The very back. The very right the back.
The way back.
But anyway, that's exciting as shit.
Guess I'm going to have to take a fucking Friday off.
That's the thing. You know that this derby happens every Friday, the 1st Friday in August. You can take the day off work now. I've never been in a job that's ever said, no, you can't take the day off 4 months in advance.
Right.
So we're at 8 months in advance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just under 8 months.
But the problem is the other 400 fucking days that I'm supposed to be off too.
Well, you got a lot to. You go ahead and get that in now, so you don't like overuse.
Just-
So
Quit
what
your
it
job.
might be is I'll just leave early
That
instead of
works,
taking
too.
the day
Well,
off.
just tell them you're sick.
Yeah, I'd say that's sick days. So you
My
have sick
leg
days.
fell off.
If I'm kind of one of the bosses, it's kind of hard for me to just say, "Hey, I'm sick."
Why are you worried about it then?
And he's gonna say, "What are you sick of working?"
Sick of working?
I'm thinking if I
I'll
took
go.
these motherfuckers' info, I wouldn't probably have a job.
Why do you think I switch a job every 2 years?
Like, yeah, I caught ligma. You can lick my balls.
But no, so I will go ahead and say it, which I did announce a couple weeks ago. I'm going to start doing some more announcing this year. So if you need me to do that, I would do that for you guys.
Yeah, I'll bring that up. I know it was brought up, and I couldn't remember the guy's name that's done it the last couple of years. When you,
Kelly Bray, Tiny.
yep.
Yep.
So I don't have his contact info.
He does.
But,
He's done.
Hell,
He's
let's bring
moving.
both of you.
I think he's moving down to Texas.
Is he?
Yeah. I got a phone call. I think he's going to take his cooking business on the road, and that's where he's
Sorry.
going.
Yeah. Nope. Definitely.
Well, let's get this out of the way. You want to do some tales from the trailer?
Yep.
I'm going to let you read this one.
Okay.
Tales from the trailer. Oh, these guys don't know about Tales from the trailer.
What is this?
Jake does.
It's a segment that we started on here, and it's about sketchy shit that you've been involved with going to pick up cars.
Oh,
So we might be able to get another one as we're sitting in here.
Yeah, I got one.
So this is from Mr. Sean Porth. Tales from the trailer. I was on spring break in high school riding around with my cousin in the rollback, scrolling Facebook when I came across a 76 Cadillac. 30 minutes from the house, $800. But the description, no derby guys. This thing a classic. It belonged on the road.
So we all kind of know where this is going.
He painted a really clear picture.
So we roll up, talked to the young man who posted it because he fell on hard times and needed some cash. It's in the backyard, fenced in. It's at his grandpa's house. Young man asked why I wanted the car. I told him I needed a school project for auto class. He was pumped that I was going to fix it and told me to bring it by so he could ride it in again. His grandpa comes out. We talk to him, and the grandson tells him what we're doing. He was excited to hear the plans and wanted to show us his car. Walk around front, and bam, it's a 75 Rivy. Grandpa wasn't ready to let go of the Riv yet, but we got the Cadillac loaded up, drove right past my school and right to the shop, pulled fifth and third with that unit. That was my first car, our first Cadillac, and what kicked off the addiction. I now have double-digit old irons of my own, and with more on the way. So that's what we were talking about, so...
That guy's ruthless. That poor old man.
They all want to see
He died wondering where that car went.
It's with him.
Yeah.
So, well, Jake's got one.
I better not.
I was gonna say I have a couple, but I don't. That's too incriminating.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
On some things that happened along the way. No, the
Have you been going with Trey, too?
I haven't been with him. I try to avoid those.
I went to Fallon with him here a while back. It was interesting.
I've heard stories. Him and Levi went somewhere one time, and I guess Levi fell asleep in the passenger seat. And I guess I'll tell the story for him. And Levi looks up and he goes, Trey's just kind of nodded off, and he kind of looks. Trey looks up at him and says, "Hey, you can't be sleeping while I am." He's the one driving.
Oh, God.
So I was like, yeah, I don't think I'll be going on any of them trips. I like to sleep too.
I mean, he did read one last week that was... We didn't say no names.
I'll tell you after we get
I'll tell you one. It was one that I had heard. It was not me. And I won't mention any names. But a buddy of mine pulled up, found an old square body Ford, Vic, just sitting right there along the road. Went, knocked on the door. Old man comes out. Well, the car actually belonged to his wife, who couldn't drive anymore. And for some reason, his kids wanted to keep it around for sentimental value. Kids weren't around. He said, load it up for $400. Don't tell anybody. Go home. As they're pulling out of the driveway, one of the boys comes up.
Oh,
They never stopped.
well, you got my car. Bye.
Well, I want to go buy a Tahoe.
Here we go. I knew if I said one, it would get some coming.
I went to go buy a Tahoe and needed a buddy to go with me, so I had Jim go with me. And
AKA.
didn't really know exactly where we were going. He just told me to meet him at the TA in East St. Louis.
Ooh. Those are fun ones.
Yeah.
Hey, remember when I said off Highway 3?
Yes.
Bingo.
Yeah. Yep. So I took a piece with me.
As you should.
Just to be safe.
Peppermint or chocolate?
Chocolate latte.
And we get down there, and this box Chevy pulls up with 26s, just beating the block.
You felt right at home, didn't you?
I did. You know what? I love that. I'm going to end up with a donk before everything's said and done.
Not if we derby them all first.
But we were in Brown County. We'll put it like that. And the guy gets out, and Jim's like, where are we going? He's like, oh, just follow me down here to my house.
Oh, fuck.
And Jim's like, no, the fuck, I'm not. I was like, all right, I'll just ride with him. He's like, well, you leave your gun with me. I'm like, that makes sense. Yeah. I was like, you're at the TA. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, whatever. So I give it to him. I ride, and dude, this neighborhood was so bad. So bad. And this was like 9 o'clock at night. It was pitch black.
That's why had you ride with him.
Were you should
100%.
Tahoe or compact?
No, Tahoe.
Vehicles in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
This was that Tahoe that had the 6.0 with the big cam in it.
Yep.
Didn't die. I'm here to tell a story. But I was like, all the way home, I was just like, that motherfucker made me give him my gun.
To sit at the gas station.
This is the gas station. And I still razz him about it to this day. I'm like, you're such a pussy.
You're such a pussy. Smart pussy, though.
I guess. But I didn't get out. I got out of that neighborhood quick.
Every story that has come from St. Louis has been, we got the fuck out of there.
But you know what? You know what's funny, though? I've ran into that guy street racing, though.
Really?
Yeah, he comes down there and watches.
Really?
So, yeah, it's
See, so now you got a buddy out of the deal.
yeah.
You didn't need your gun. Jim did.
I guess because we do some of that stuff on Hall Street. Mm-hmm. I don't know if any of y'all been.
Oh, yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough down there, especially at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
You used to all scrap down that
Yeah.
area.
Mm-hmm.
Very familiar.
Yeah. As much as I'm in St. Louis, I should just move there at this point. But
Well,
It
that's
sounds
what,
like you got a buddy that
yeah,
lives in a
I
nice
ain't living
neighborhood.
in that
You could room
neighborhood.
me up with him. I mean, until you get your feet on the ground.
No.
So here's the question. Dakota
Here, sell this.
has sold out of all Derby stuff.
Yep.
Justin has not. Well, Jake is doing different
Did you
shit.
say sell out?
I said you did not.
Why would anybody do that?
Well,
Well, I mean,
the
I
guy sitting
understand
right
Dakota.
next to you did.
He likes dirt track stuff.
Yeah, I do too. I just do both of them.
So with you guys taking this stuff on, are you kind of pushing your other projects to the side because
Well-
we know you had the 4U Fab stuff?
Well, actually, I still do that on the side, but I actually had a really good offer offered to me, and I'd actually do HVAC work now. Doing really well with that, making a lot of money, so it was a no-brainer. But enough about me. I'm also, in the middle of remodeling my house, so Derby, and I have 3 cars sitting out front. If you've been past my house, you can't miss them. But I plan on running those 3 this year, and that'd be about it. I take that back. Might run out there to Ohio, to King of Ohio, and run that old school wire class. I think I got a.
That's the Legends class, isn't it?
No, they've got it's called the old school class or something, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. It's not a matter of doing it. I got the car sitting there. I'm gonna do it.
Awesome fucking facility.
Yeah,
It's cool
and
shit. I hope I get to go back this year.
I'm sure there'll be a few other people headed out there that I know, so it'll be a good time.
I think my teammate's running that class.
Nice.
I
Is it
think
against
her and
the
her
rules to hit a
dad.
girl?
What?
Is it against the rules to hit a girl?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. I think her and her dad are signed up for that old iron.
Oh.
Well, that's
okay.
cool.
I'll play nice.
Yeah. No, I sold out all of my Derby stuff to get into circle track and Quincy Raceways. They opened up a Crown Vic class last year, so I built a 2008 Vic and had a pretty good rookie season. I think I had 13 races, 3 wins, 10 top 10s, and I think out of those 10, I think 8 top 3s. So.
Well, you are not the only Derby guy that is doing that because you got Austin Johnson was doing it
Austin's
as
doing
well.
it. He got him
And
on
Justin was doing it too, you
Yeah.
know.
I'm actually in the process of building a fresh car for that.
Yeah.
They're talking about doing it in Moberly.
Yeah, are they? I heard they were only doing 4 or 5 races a year.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
they've
s-
got roughly a dozen, 12 or 14.
they do now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they run most of their stuff on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, it's such a weird.
That's a weird time, but yeah, no, it's not too far. I mean, hell, I drove 2 hours to Lincoln down there twice to run.
Right. Which, like I said, if they do it in Moberly, I might have to do that.
I had a buddy let me run his car in Quincy that one time.
Don't
It's
sleep on it. It's
fun.
a blast.
It
It's
really is it's not.
I'm just afraid that I'll get mad
You won't. I mean, you probably will, but you'll get over it. I mean,
because I'll be like, "Quit passing me! I'm going to put you in the fucking wall."
Well, I
do
can tell
better.
you,
They will do that.
It did take me a couple of races to get the Derby mindset out.
Yeah.
to back into the racing thing.
I'll be fucking
I don't know, I've seen a
NASCAR
pretty
94
frustrated
on
Facebook post from you one
PS1
time.
going
It
backwards.
wasn't from me. It was about me, maybe. But
Yeah.
It's really, it is a lot of fun. It's real easy to build, and it's not nothing you have to even be serious about. Dakota was way more serious about it than I was last year.
Yeah, but everything that motherfucker does, he's like all the way in.
But I was nipping on his
Hunting,
heels every
fucking
race.
derby
I mean,
Yeah.
he,
my wife doesn't really like it that much either. When it comes to me, like if I'm in and do something,
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Well, that's the thing.
you got.
I've always been told if you're going to do something,
Yep.
do it right.
Well, if you're going to be a bear, you might as well be a grizzly.
That's right.
Correct. And that's not, I mean, that's golfing, that's shooting pool, you know, racing, whatnot. So
I do it on beer drinking.
you do.
I mean,
That you have
but
mastered.
cold beer hates to see me coming.
You have mastered that shit. I guarantee it. But now, you know, you guys are doing that stuff, and Jake's doing the go fast straight shit.
In Mexico on a closed course.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
By
I'm
professionals.
Just
Hold on, he just said Hall Street.
In Mexico.
cops don't go down there though.
No, they don't. Well, would you?
Evidently you will, motherfucker.
I mean, it's.
And you're like the whitest motherfucker I've ever seen.
Yeah, but he fits in. He gets invited to the barbecues.
I do.
He does.
I do. But I enjoy it. But same thing. If I'm doing something, I'm all in, and it gets expensive.
Not me. I like to be mediocre at a lot of things.
Well, the bad thing is I've been mediocre for the last year because I can't keep shit together.
Well, we've got another buddy that was doing the drag racing stuff too, and he had some motor stuff for sale. So I tagged, said Jake, and I get a Snapchat and it says, "You're not a real good fucking friend." And I was like, "Well, I know you're hurting. You need some of this." I just don't think he was ready
It's
for.
natural light, but it's wet.
You didn't end up getting it, did you?
No.
I'll
I've
take
got-
that game and jack.
I got another motor in it now, but then that motor that I blew up, it didn't live
Cayman.
very long. It's getting reworked right now.
Oh, up
I had to
top.
go get another block and
Thank you, sir.
No, I don't want the big one.
all that.
Yeah, because it looked like I might be able to stock both my hands on the exit hole that's not supposed to be an exit hole.
No, it was good.
Aftermarket exhaust port.
Yeah.
Home built.
They breathe better now.
It made really good power till it didn't.
You have that with an L.
That's famous
Easy.
last words. That's
Easy.
famous last words with horsepower. It was running like a motherfucker until it wasn't.
One thing I've learned about
Hey,
LS
it
guys,
was,
they all
too.
say, "Man, it was running great." Well, what's it doing now? And
Well, they don't do good when they're ingesting water.
you're right. Neither did mine.
Just quit running water in them.
Well,
Well,
when
you know,
he-
I was trying to
Yeah.
keep the whole.
Well, that
street
wasn't
car-
water.
that was water.
No. So I actually pulled that motor apart, the one from P Hill. That was tragic.
I
There's
heard
not-
it.
The only thing left good out of it was the heads and the intake.
It went down. Well, that's the
Yeah.
good part.
It dropped an oil pump, squeezed a couple bearings out, and grenaded inside.
Because I heard it.
There was
and
two
as soon
rods
as I
and
heard it-
pistons that were left connected, and they were barely connected.
I still blame that on water.
No, it was 100% the oil pump because
Oh.
what oil was left in the oil pan looked brand new, and there was really hot melted bearings laying in the oil pan. Kind of a telltale sign, you know. And I'm not.
Because you're not known to run a chip.
No, actually, I didn't that night, and I probably should have because but
Well, the way the track
we didn't
was-
know it was gonna like monsoon rain in the middle of it,
Right.
and I really wanted to party that night, especially with them guys I was running with out there. Colton, Brock, and Mark, they're all good boys out there to run with. And that, unfortunately, that boy that got hurt, they were fun to run with too. So,
It was fun to watch.
yeah.
Was
Man,
that
I felt
I-
sorry for the concrete wall.
I really thought
That
I had that
concrete
one in
wall
the
hates to
bag.
see him come.
I thought I had it in the bag that night, and old Brock come up there, and we fist bumped, and like no sooner we made contact, that motor said, boom, and I was like, well, there goes my night.
Yep.
But it is what it is. There's always next year.
That'd be right.
Well, it'd be this year now.
This year.
So, are we talking anything more exciting? Is this going to be something that, as long as it goes well, you're going to be looking at keep doing?
We will do
For
this
Palmyra?
until we get probably too old to do it.
creeps up fast, boys. I'm just
Well,
throwing
this
that
has
out
always
there.
been Palmyra was always kind of my hometown show
Yep.
because that's where my dad always ran every year. He ran once a year, and that's where we went. So I grew up going there, watching derbies there. Then naturally, my first derby was that show.
Who'd you pit next to?
You.
My
Wait.
first derby too.
And so to see Palmyra go the way that it went, it was hard for me to watch that last year's show. It was just I didn't even show up to that show, to be honest with
I didn't
you.
even go.
It was the only Palmyra derby that I've left early.
And I hate to say that, and I'm not digging at nobody or trying
No.
to do anything like that. But I just, if I'm not gonna go to the show, and not run the show, I might as well do something to make the show what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Dakota and Jake and myself would love nothing more to see.
Yeah, so guys, if you're sitting here listening and you know, hey, this is because the payouts are no joke.
No.
We're not talking national level payouts, but if everything gets approved, you're right under that $18,000 for four
yeah.
classes. I mean, that's
Well, and cars ain't cheap anymore.
oh
so,
shit.
Guys are going out and buying, $1,500 Crown Vics just to, run. Hell, when I started, you damn near buy a Crown Vic for $200.
Mm-hmm.
A good one.
Yeah.
And it run and drove.
Yep.
But, so
I think I know why Crown Vic shot through the roof though.
why?
Because of the
Dirt
dirt
track.
track racing.
Oh, well, that too. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that and you got to give $2,200 for a rusted out old iron.
Yeah, that's
And then you got 16 to 20 hours worth of rust repair to do on it, and the average guy just doesn't have that time to do that.
Or a friend that likes to weld that much.
Right, 100%.
I
well,
lucked
the
out.
cost of everything has gone up astronomically as well.
Yes.
I mean, your welding wire, your gas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, even electric bill.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
it's all.
Well, and I'm telling you, I like to drink beer and shit way more than I like to build cars. It is what it is.
I
It's
mean,
cheaper.
I get that. Yeah, it's cheaper.
Well, maybe I don't know how much beer you're drinking.
Well, he's out of garage beers right now.
And so is Paris.
You're still buying them out every time?
Every fucking time they come in. They had some sitting on the floor Friday night, and I bought all those motherfuckers too.
Yeah, so, it's great. We've always said we never want to see a promoter fail.
No.
Those guys that were doing it wasn't a promotion group.
No,
You
they were volunteers, and who could blame them?
Right.
I think I stepped away at the beginning of May, and it wasn't the fact that I just threw my hands up and walked out of nowhere. Like I had two or three, I had Austin and Junior, and I think there was even one promoter I talked to out of Iowa that were all willing to do it, and you pay them $2,500, $3,000, and they'll bring their guys down and do it, and that's pennies on the dollar for what that show could bring in.
Correct.
And they did not choose to go that route, so that was on them. But yeah, they had volunteers do it, and they had a couple, several of them hasn't been in the derby world for 10, 15 years and trying to run the rules that we're trying to run, and they have no idea what they're reading and how rules are interpreted, and that's the main
That's the
thing.
big one right there, because we talked about that, what Justin would interpret, what you would interpret, what Jake would interpret for the exact same build. And then you throw a guy who's been in the game for 30 years but doesn't know the change and the progression of the build styles and what these guys are doing. You back in the day, you could have looked at, say, Monty Bringer.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Monty, how far does this thing stretch? Fuck you talking about?
They wouldn't have a clue what that is. Yeah, I like Monty
You
Bringer
know?
a lot, and he probably still doesn't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, up until a couple of years ago, it was unheard of.
Correct.
No, and not everybody has a frame machine in their side garage that they can just throw the frame on and do some work with.
Yeah. What's cap? What's a cap?
That's what I got on my head.
It might start at your head. It don't end at your head. But
You talked to anybody 5 years ago, they didn't know what the fuck that was.
no.
No.
There was a few that were already doing it. Mm-hmm. You know, it was the same way with a lot of the progression in derby car building with all that shit. Even as far as people pulling frame rails together before they were welding bumpers on, and negative pressure and all that shit. Like, people have been playing around with that shit for a long time. Mm-hmm. It's just now where you're seeing a jig built, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, the first car that I ever tilted was one that I had ran that wasn't tilted, and we took the old tractor and bent that sucker down, and it was level, and we run it again, and it was like, damn, it was harder that time than it was the first time. You know, well, there's something to that. Mm-hmm. You know, it's progression happens regardless.
And I think it's even worse than like Jake's on his tech deal, because I had up to a couple years ago, I had no idea what the compacts were actually doing to those things.
We were talking about that on the way here.
You know, once you're out of that promotion side, then you start hearing this shit, and I'm like, are y'all serious? You do that? Oh, yeah. I was like, holy fuck. No wonder they're so fucking hard.
They're doing some sneaky shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so if you're giving them, this is what you can do, and it's pretty much all of it.
I mean, yeah.
Up to a certain
extent.
But,
yeah, I mean, they're tanks the way they are. I mean, like we were talking about before we started the show, look at those Camaros that went to Blizzard Bash. I mean, them things were killing everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said I'd love to see somebody show up with a Fox body or a Camaro and give some of these guys with W bodies and Camaros a run for their money.
And Camrys and all that shit,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, because they will.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the problem,
100%.
I really do.
Especially with the rule set out
Like,
there.
is Josh Gordon's Fox body still in one piece after making?
I don't know.
I didn't think he run a Fox body. I thought he run like an early 90s Mustang.
I thought it was a Fox
No,
body.
I think that was a new Mustang on that.
Or was it an
like a-
SM95?
No, I think
Yeah,
it was
not like a
newer
93,
Mustang.
4 or 5, somewhere in there.
I thought it was a Fox body.
No, I think it was like a 93.
Was
Yeah,
it?
something like that.
94-ish,
Yeah.
not 93.
I don't know. I was probably getting a beer while that class was running.
Probably. You were like, fuck these guys.
I didn't even know they had compacts at Macon.
How do you not?
I was teching. What did you expect?
You didn't have very many to tech.
No,
I
it
can
was
tell you
pretty.
that.
It was pretty short.
I
and
was
sweet.
gone doing something.
We were out there at Bristol, out there in the center with Rob and Trey and all them, and it was so nice all week. You didn't hear one da, 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 until they had to come in, and it was like. I
So
started
Justin's a
thinking,
compact lover as well.
I'm gonna catch shit over this too. I left at Bristol. I did. I left. I went back to the fucking
You
hotel.
left me there.
You're a dog.
I'm there for the show.
Everybody was like, "Oh, what are we doing?" I was like, "Let's go eat." Nobody will be in the fucking restaurants. I was like, "Let's go now."
I like the guys that run the cars. I really do. A lot of great guys, but I just
Oh man, I can't watch the fucking thing.
I really enjoy the low compact, and I enjoy the gut and go guys.
I do
I
like
get more phone calls from gut and go guys.
Oh, dude,
Because they're
we've
looking
already-
for that upper fucking edge.
Oh man, I'm like, I had one last year call me at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
First of all, I wouldn't answer my
is it
shit.
okay if I put expandofoam in my radiator? I'm like,
Yes.
I don't give a fuck what you do. Like, why are you calling me right now?
Like it's 11
Bitch,
o'clock
I am
at night.
trying to sleep.
It's like I gotta go work in the morning.
It's like, yeah, fuck me. Can I, is it okay if I chain the front to the back? I'm like, what does that even mean? I don't give a fuck. Yeah, do it. Get with it.
You remember
Jesus
that one guy
Christ.
showed up with fuel line from his refrigerator freezer line?
Oh, God.
I know,
It
dude.
was ice maker.
Yes.
Ice maker line.
I don't know how you made it that far without
Son,
melting.
why is the fucking ice maker not working? Sorry, Mom.
I was like, what? I was like, what is this?
Jesus Christ.
You got them guys, their fuel lines swole up.
Oh.
Because they used air hose.
Yeah, and I'm like, you can't run
Oh,
that.
my God.
And they're like, well, why not?
It's rubber hose.
Yeah, show up with washer fluid, that really
You know-
thin shit that goes from your washer tank.
Gets too cold, it cracks.
Oh, we put black tape
I know
on it.
O'Reilly's loves August 1st because they sell out of high pressure fuel line every year.
Well, I know what I'm
And it's probably
bringing.
just the week of.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say it'd be the day before.
Well, but I'm talking that day too, because I'm
Yeah,
like,
that-
you're going to O'Reilly's.
Oh yeah,
You're hitting
yeah.
this fuel line.
Which that's fine. I'll just show up this year and tell them. Just send them to the back of my truck.
I don't roll that
We will have all the fucking
$20
high
a
pressure
foot.
fuel. Yeah. $20 a foot.
Jesus, it's worth more. Fuel line's worth more than the car.
No kidding.
No, I hope everything is going to go smooth. Guys, if you're listening, August 1st, they'll probably announce when tech time starts and all that good shit. What your entry going to the show, what gates to use, that'll all be posted as well. Man, I just hope. I guess I'll be in Palmyra August 1st, regardless if I'm announcing it or watching.
I'll be there.
You gonna run, pussy?
I don't know.
You better.
We'll see.
I'll give you the parts you need.
That's
We're
it.
gonna
Well,
learn
that's
our-
Yeah, real quick, he did bring up a good point. We are going to try and pre-register
That's not a bad idea.
good idea.
and offer a little bit of a discount.
Yep.
For pre-register, you will be able to register day of. But
Yeah, we won't turn anybody down.
No.
We would like to see a lot of the guys that, on my end for sure, that said they would come, go ahead and lock in.
Yes.
I'd like to.
Well, and it's not like they haven't before.
No.
They'll commit to that.
Yeah.
No.
I'd like to go over that Avery and Denton again. You know, I'd really like to challenge them guys to bring some cars out and
The Brown Boys.
Brown Boys.
Little Birdie told me that old John with NLR was looking for a show like this to run too, so I'd like to challenge old John.
There you go.
That'd be nice.
Hearing that 5X?
That means Trey'd have to come.
Bring them.
No, and you guys can attest to this. You've seen it. You've been to a ton of derbies there. Like, it might not be a national show.
No, but it's
but
always a badass
It's
show.
a national level competitive show.
And it's a good track.
The track's
The track's
great.
fucking badass.
It's lots of pit room.
And who wouldn't want to go derby in front of 4,500 people?
Right.
Yeah, at a county fair show.
At a
Yeah.
county fair
Just
show.
throwing this
Okay.
out there,
Big
guys.
first on the
That
background.
track is
Yeah.
roughly 150 by
It's big. It's fucking big.
260
Yeah.
to 280.
It's big enough
It's
that
it's like 130 wide, and I usually go like 2 to 220 long.
it's
Yeah.
big enough cold oil and get going, 40, 50 mile an hour.
You might even be able to grab third gear this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you know me, I don't
And I-
like wet tracks. So
No.
no.
tacky / you throw some dust. Perfect.
It'll
Yeah, if
all
you
turn
get
up
pushed
the
over
bike.
like by the corner and it throws a little dust, like I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we almost had vans getting flipped over there that one year. They were hitting each other so hard.
Yeah, but reason for the pre-registration thing is I want to give guys plenty of notice on heats if we have to.
Yes.
That's why, not because I'm like, I just want to know who's coming. It's like I want to know how many, so I can
Better
give you guys
prepare.
plenty of heads up. I'm like, okay, well,
You need
there's
parts.
30 street stocks.
Absolutely.
Get ready for
We're going to
heat.
run some heats here.
And we want to make sure we have plenty of room in the pits and you know.
Yeah,
Well,
that,
and-
that just helps planning all together.
Make it a good but productive show. We're not waiting 45 minutes between classes.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
We
We'll have
want to
a-
keep the show rolling.
We'll have a really good group of guys there on some, tractors and skid loaders getting cars off. The worst part is watching guys, our cars get drug off the track. So I'd like, we'll make sure we got on top of that even.
Yep.
Cool. Well, dudes, we appreciate you guys coming down and
Thanks
enlightening
for
us
the
a little bit for
Oh, yes. That was
Make
fun.
Palmyra great again.
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 Well,
And some
Trump's back in office. Things are looking bright.
Let's hope.
My 401k's looking good.
That's true.
Well, homie, got any last words?
Nope.
Make junk, boys. Fisher built. Fuel tanks are the next generation of fuel tanks on the demolition derby parts market to date. With stainless steel construction, every tank is internally welded, braced, baffled, and pressure tested, with 2 standard size options available.
Fisher built tanks have you covered. From your local county fair shows all the way to your national level events, where you need maximum fuel capacity and structural integrity to get you to the end. If you are in need of a next level design tank or you just need a second fuel tank for your new setup. Give Fisher Built a chance to earn your business. You won't be disappointed.